Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes.
This is it, Mia. The battle begins here.
Witness, what is your name and occupation? Wait, what?
Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter.
Oh, when I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double and a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite.
Hey, not so fast.
As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care in addressing her.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Fay, you could learn a lot from this man.
If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir?
Yes, my dear?
This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause.
Not at all. It's no trouble at all.
Now then, may we please have your name and occupation?
My name is, Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department.
You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct?
And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate?
How can you be so mean?
Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh?
But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous.
Next time I'll be forced to penalize you.
Uh-oh, I don't like the turn this is taking. Is she staring at me?
And you would be?
Huh? I'm the defense lawyer. My name is Mia Fay. I see.
So you are.
Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wild flowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police.
By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred?
I believe the map would be of help here.
I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs.
So you took the photo from that location, eh?
I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to.
What a cute camera. Just like its owner. Alright then, Miss Fay. Time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel.
Alright, well. Crucial moment? I highly doubt this. I don't really call this a crucial moment. Just throwing that out there.
Objection! Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I could see in this photo were two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that?
Well, you see...
The photo we presented was the only one there was.
But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it.
all.
My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit.
He can certainly downplay a situation, can he?
I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean.
You ran out of film?
This photo was the last one.
What?
Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers.
The witness herself? Then who took the photos?
Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it.
So you took photos of yourself?
Oh, I remember taking some photos of myself once too.
Please, no details.
It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all.
Wait, just a minute.
Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh?
Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet.
Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed.
Yes, Mr. Judge.
Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk.
Huh. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Okay. There's new testimony in here, so I figure I gotta read that. What's that?
The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back.
10 yards, huh? Somehow... Let me take a good look at this map here. Somehow I highly doubt this.
Objection! Witness, your testimony is a joke.
Huh? What? But I just...
Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry.
One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse.
You say there were two contradictions?
It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then...
She would have hit a dead end.
You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have even run 5, because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side.
What does all this mean?
It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it.
This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court?
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion.
What do you mean?
There's one major mistake in this diagram.
What did you say?
What are you referring to?
It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it.
So you're saying...
I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident.
That's ridiculous.
You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence.
Well then.
Huh, that guy is good.
Huh? What do you mean?
He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy.
What? That coward.
Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation.
I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself.
No, 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 no! It wasn't your fault at all!
Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw.
Indeed! All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony?
But it's so hard to go on.
We're all on your side, Miss Foster.
There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. And he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw.
Witnessing such violence must have been difficult.
Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up.
If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished.
Don't say that.
Oh well. Maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte.
This trial isn't over yet.
Ha! That's what I'd like to hear. All right, Miss Fay. Your cross-examination, if you please.
The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack.
Really? If that was the only way, why didn't he think him to just dump it in the fucking river? That doesn't make any sense.
Objection! A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found.
Well, what is it?
Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river.
For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered.
Ah,
In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water.
order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth,
How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature.
What are you talking about?
My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw.
quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all.
But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous.
Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car.
That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us.
Please, witness, go on with your testimony.
I'll try.
All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again.
Who is he talking about?
Alright, I'll do my best. And so after he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge.
Right. So that's the new bits of testimony. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that.
No, that doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have to bring this up again.
Objection! Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what?
Made a crucial mistake.
A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye?
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying that you saw that, right? With your very own eyes?
Yes, and?
It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car.
I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car.
That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine.
I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Huh? Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car.
Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo?
Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it.
But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes.
Oh,
Mr. Judge?
what is it?
I think I must have remembered things wrong.
Hey, wait a minute, you can't just say that.
Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect.
Yes, indeed, quite true. You know what they say? To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here.
What? That's not fair!
Ha! Save the tears for later, kitten.
Mr. Armando!
Don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward.
But that wasn't fair!
Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony.
The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there.
So tell us, how did you know that? How did you know that he broke into the trunk?
Aha!
Until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom.
Well, witness?
Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it.
What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. Huh. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied?
The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said. Is there a contradiction in there somewhere? Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I finally got her.
Huh, I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself.
Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was she put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches.
Yes, what was it?
Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that...
I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open.
But he stole the car.
He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition.
Oh, I see.
Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. It couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk.
Preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred, and we already know that at the time she was taking photographs.
Now's your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster himself. Or herself.
Ugh. Getting my words mixed up.
I don't think you can make a mistake about it. Take a look at her camera. It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Almost as if the camera was brought just to take this picture.
What are you trying to say then, Miss Fay? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed?
Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field.
Would the defense please explain further?
Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question, we'll also make clear Miss Foster's true identity.
Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred?
That's easy. Right here. Naturally, the witness was right here.
But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, Miss Fay. What on earth?
Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim.
How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls.
You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne.
What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo?
It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness.
What?
It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster.
Me?
Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne.
But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped to get him convicted.
But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore.
You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof?
I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster?
Faint. Well, damn.
Where's Miss Foster?
She's collecting herself in the lobby.
It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together.
The only question is, why did she do it?
Well, isn't that obvious? She's the true criminal.
Huh.
Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are instructed to wait in the lobby.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understood.
Very well. This court is in recess.
Alright. So we will continue this thing next time. See ya then.